From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie-Tome. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The golf clearance outlet beat everyone's prices. And Betr is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the program. And it's a big week, of course, Ryder Cup week, but there's so much more to talk about in the world of golf. Nick O'Hearn's here to do just that.
Mark, good to see you. Good to see you brought the Wagga cap in, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Well, Dan made me remember this week.
Yeah,
so
good.
I still have great memories. If you're dropping by, make sure you pop in and have a couple of beers or a coffee or do whatever you do. It's a fabulous place to play golf.
Certainly is. And by the way, it's right next to the new shoe FootJoy brought out, which your man,
Elvis Smylie.
February, March, as you say, almost won the French Open. It was a great win, but I was looking at this shoe earlier. What is it called? The Hyperflex, I think?
Yeah.
Is that right?
So he's actually only just moved into it. I think JT, Justin Thomas, has also moved into it.
Right.
Justin Thomas reckons he got more ball speed.
Oh, ball speed, yeah, that's right.
Elvis Smylie just moved into it and came second, so well done to him. Minwoo Wheat had a good week as well. But this isn't the Ping Global results. We'll get to them.
No,
a little
that's
bit
true.
later.
We'll get to that later. Yeah.
By the way, I saw Elvis went cack-handed.
Right hand low.
Yeah,
for a left-hander.
for a left-hander.
Yeah, that's right.
And had a great putting week.
No, he did. He's been using more of a centre shafted putter. Might be a Scotty Cameron. I'm not sure. But I remember talking to him last year around this time when we were doing the BMW National Final. He's coming back for that again, which is great. And his putting stroke had improved massively.
Yeah.
But now the right hand low, I think it's just leveled his shoulders out a bit more, which it tends to do.
A lot of people love that feeling,
And he
don't
rolled
they?
it beautifully. So it was great.
Just while we're on putting, I was doing the Masterclass last night at Kingston Heath.
All right.
And two of my friends were there and they're mad golfers. They love practicing. And I still love practicing. I can't believe it. I'm there, I did the Masterclass and hung around and I was chipping and putting. And anyway, I walked out the front to hit a few putts and they had a drill set up.
Okay.
And they took turns doing it.
Couple of juniors or
No,
just
old blokes.
Old blokes just
Lou
grinding.
and Rito.
I love
And they're great. They're great fellas and they love golf and they're just trying to improve their putting. Anyway, I want to run this past you and I'm going to run past the advice I gave them as well because I know this is a big part in trying to play better golf and shoot lower scores is holding more putts. Anyway, they had 4 tees in the ground either side and 5 balls.
Okay.
And they were doing it from about 6 feet. And they're trying to get their personal best, which is a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. It keeps you involved and makes you competitive and it gives you a goal. Anyway, I was watching what they were doing and Reto, who went first, he held his first 7 in a row.
Ooh, wow.
Beautiful.
So they got 5 balls, 4 positions, so out of 20 basically.
Yeah, from 6 feet.
Yeah.
North, south, east, west.
Yep.
Anyway, he held the first 7 and then he missed the next 3 or 4. And then he got into – anyway, so I was watching on because I love this stuff.
Yep.
I love watching people try to improve. And they asked me what my thoughts were. And I told them the old Dave Pelt story, which was the ball race in place, beautiful mown green, 99 or 98 out of 100 went in when it was perfect. They came back at the end of the day, bumpy greens. Less than half went in, and nothing had changed. The ball race was still in the same place. The hole was in the same place, but the grass had grown. People had walked across the green, and it was bumpy, less than half.
Yep.
So they asked me my thoughts. I said, well, look, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be having it at 6 foot. I said, but let's leave it at 6 foot at the moment. But what we could see when he missed his first and then missed his second, he went to water. And because his goal was to hole putts, I said, well, let's change your goal. Let's change that goal from holing putts to just simply starting the ball on line. That's your new goal.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to win a Nobel Prize for this experiment, although I should. If there was a golfing Nobel Prize, I would have won.
Sounds like he held 20 in a row.
Well, the difference was he got to his personal best very quickly next time around. Yeah. Got to a personal, didn't get past it, got to it the first time around. And this is something that's interests me for all golfers because there is so much anxiety in making the ball go in the hole. But your anxiety levels change not only in practice but also on the golf course when your goal changes.
Yep.
And if your goal is just to start the ball on line and then whatever else happens after that, bad luck, then you do tend to relax.
You do. Yeah.
Anyway, I watched them. They kept on doing it. I got a little text message later, which was really nice of them saying thanks for the help and all the rest of it. But
Love it.
you would have seen stacks of stuff like this. I mean, that's me just helping a couple of club golfers.
I love that advice, though. Just start the ball on line because you can't control what happens once the ball leaves the putter face.
That's right.
It's like every golf shot. I say to people, look, control what you can control. And that is your process, how you walk into the ball, your alignment, your visualization maybe that you've got going on, certain things. You can't control the result. If you do all those other things well, the result usually takes care of itself and it's pretty much in your favor. Now, in a putting instance, I've mentioned this story before, but Brad Faxon was one of the best putters I ever played with, Ben Crenshaw as well. There was other players like Tiger and so on, but none of them had tension, number one.
Yeah.
They were always relaxed. And Brad, I remember played this round and I think he had 35 putts, so he didn't really hole anything, which for him was very unusual. One of the best putters. And a mate of his said to him afterwards, look, shame you didn't putt very well, otherwise you would have had a good score. And he says, what do you mean I didn't putt well? I putted fantastic. He said, ball just didn't go in today. Yeah. And then the next day,
that's the attitude.
He had 25 putts, because the ball all of a sudden started falling in. So that's the attitude you need out on the golf course where, and in doing putting drills, especially because there's the result right in front of you. And my favorite drill that I used to do was the 3-foot circle. Yep. I have 6 balls and I have to go around 3 times. So that's 18 3-footers in a row, bit of slope on the green. So you get to that last few and it's like, oh my gosh, here we go. If I miss this, I got to start again. And so I had little tricks that I would use that if the ball went in, great. And if it didn't, well, I thought, well, okay, I hit exactly the putt I wanted. Now, if I do that, typically it's going to go in. Yeah. So, you got to trick your mind in a way, and you're doing that perfectly. Yeah. Just start the ball on line.
Well, perfect. The fact of the matter is it's easier to start the ball on line on greens that have been, afternoon greens than it is the whole putts. It just is. And once your mind gets into the place where your goal is different from the anxiety of actually watching the thing go in, it's amazing how what you said just a second ago about the best putters, they start to relax because the anxiety of it actually going in being the measure of whether you've hit a correct putt or not completely goes out the window, and you can just see their stroke. Now, you and I have been watching golf for a hell of a long time. Reto's stroke turned into something very different. And there's another thing you just said then too about, how relaxed they were. When you hold the club and you don't hold it tight, your hands become shock absorbers, not shock where the ball will just bounce off the thing.
It won't pop off it.
It won't pop off the club. That's right. That's a great way of saying it. If you've got a tight grip because of anxiety about holding, your putts will pop. When you have a really soft, beautiful, relaxed grip, your hands become shock absorbers and you have a much better chance of the ball, the feeling of the ball rolling off your putter.
Yeah. Like Bruce Lee, be water, my friend.
Bruce Lee. How'd you get Bruce Lee into this podcast? We got to get him in there
somehow. But
anyway.
I love what you did with him anyway. So one last thing on that is when people try and start it on the line that they want, which is all well and good. I really like that, but don't make it too precise.
Yes.
Like for me, the hole is 4 1/4 inches wide, so I see a shaded path to the hole. I don't see this really narrow, thin strip because that means I've got to force it on the line. I don't like that myself. That makes me relax a bit more, thinking, well, I've actually got 4 1/4 inches to work with here.
Yes.
This is not too bad, and then you relax a bit more and. Funnily enough, you probably started on line more. So,
that's right. And it's funny you say, like I love that thing. I'm also a bit like that with the lining it up.
Okay.
I call it plonking. I want you to plonk the putter, just plonk it behind the ball and not be so exact. Yeah. Because I think once you start becoming very exact, then I think that
you lose the rhythm.
You lose everything. Yeah, I'm with you. So become a plonker.
Okay.
And plonk it online. But as long as you can see that line, then there's also that little bit of athletic ability to where even though it might be you might be unsure, you're never unsure of the actual line that it starts on.
Well, I don't like the line on the ball. I've never, people who, and I understand why people use the line on the ball, but they're behind there trying to get it exact and then put the putter head behind it. Oh, that doesn't quite look right. And they start again. Whereas, again, the best putters I've ever played with, no line on the ball. Ben Crenshaw used to have the old blade, the old Wilson 8802, and that thing had nothing on it. Yeah. And it was just like, it was just all feel and let his natural instincts take over, and they always tend to be the best putters.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know why we threw that in, but we thought it might have been important to somebody.
Will there be some plonking at Bethpage Black this weekend, do you think?
No.
There'll be some lines on balls.
There'll be lines all over the place, and this is what pressure, extreme pressure in a Ryder Cup situation. It's what transpires when people are trying too hard, is when they're trying to be exact. But you watch the best putters. You watch them. They'll just be plonking it, and they'll be trusting their practice. That's the other thing. The other thing about putting and in pressure situations, if you've put in the work, if you've got up early and you've been consistent, and I'm not talking about a week's worth, I'm talking as a professional golfer, 6 months of getting the work done. It's amazing how that start line becomes easier to do, but two, because you've got a workload, the distance control is just there. It's just there.
Yep.
Yeah, and we all know distance is important. We do. But when you've put the work in, distance is a second nature thing.
It's a reaction.
It's a reaction. Yeah. That's exactly right.
I was helping someone out the other day, and they sort of said, my feel's not great, and a thing I love to do is I'll give them a golf ball and I'll say, look, throw me the ball, underarm it to me, and I usually catch it just around my chest, and then I move 10 feet back, throw it again. Okay, throw it to me again. Bang, landed on my chest again. Moving all different distances, and I say to them, okay, you've got feel because you didn't think about how far to throw it. You didn't think I got to take my arm back this far. It was more you just reacted to the distance. Now, that's the same with putting, because people often say to me, how far should I take it back for a certain length putt? Well, that depends on the slope, the greens and everything. Just trust your instincts, look up. It's as though you're throwing a ball. You're just going to let your natural talent and athleticism take control, and that will give you good distance control. Now, if you don't have that, well, then there are some drills and some practice things that you can do. A metronome's great for that, to give you really good rhythm. There's a variety of things, but people underestimate themselves, I think, when it comes to distance control.
That's one of the. It's going to be one of the great things this week about the Ryder Cup. So, folks, don't just watch the ball go off the putter. Watch everything. Watch what they're doing. Try and get in their head.
Oh yeah, pre-shot routines,
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, although they probably will be a bit slow this way. One match I rarely like watching is whenever Xander and Cantlay's involved, because they can be a bit painful to watch pace-wise.
Did you say a bit? A bit painful?
A little bit. So.
Just leave the bit off. They're painful to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, they are painful to watch. Look, I love it when the underdog. Europe's always the underdog. I don't know why. They've got a great record, but they're always the underdog, and I'll be cheering for the underdog this week. I want Europe to beat America on American soil. It'll be big.
It's been a long time. It's 2012 since an away team won the Miracle at Medina, if you remember that.
It's an interesting stat, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, the last time America won, I think, on Euro soil was over 30 years ago, I think, right? Yeah, I think it was back in the 90s. Maybe at the Belfry or something like that. But Europe, they come in strong. They're combining really well. They always do. They're not getting paid to play. We've sort of spoken about that previously.
Look out for our Ryder Cup preview. And we don't want to go over it again, but if you haven't seen the Ryder Cup preview, just go back a step.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun set, and the crowds are going to be New York, obviously, but there will be a lot of Europeans there. So hopefully there's some sort of fun chanting and clapping and, the Viking clap going on maybe for the Euros. Who knows? So we'll see.
Now, before we go any further, I want to get your view on something that happened last week. A golfer called Nakajima missed the ball.
Oh, yes. Yes, I saw this on socials.
It is my understanding that he was pinged.
He was?
A one-stroke penalty. That's my understanding. Okay. Now, I don't get that. I don't get it now.
Well, these things are all about intent. Did he intend to hit the ball?
That's right. That is exactly right. That's why, remember Zach Johnson on must have been the 13th tee, he was having a practice swing and tipped the ball, and the ball actually moved away.
Well, that's on the tee.
Yes.
So what if he did that in the fairway?
In the fairway.
I think that is a shot then. Is that right?
I'm not sure.
I think it is on a practice swing. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think if he didn't intend to hit the ball, we might have to.
We'll have to look that one.
I'll grok it. I'll grok it
But,
soon. But let's have a look at what Nakajima did again, and we'll make a decision.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it. If you're listening in the car, listen for the sound.
Yeah.
There's a little noise, so just listen for the sound.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So he's over the ball. All right. You could hear that little in the background. That happened at the top of his swing.
Well, that's a fresh air.
Was that a cough?
That's all that is. Whatever happens, that's a fresh air.
Goodness me.
Now, I totally disagree with that.
So I played with a guy on the PGA Tour in the US called Kevin Na.
Yes.
And we were playing at the Las Vegas tournament, the Justin Timberlake tournament at TPC Summerlin. And he did this on the tee a couple of times where he would be at the top of the backswing, about making his downswing, and then he would pull out of the shot and he'd sort of maybe
miss it by 6 inches.
Not even that a couple of times.
Really?
It was close. And I looked at my playing partner and I'm going, hang on, what was that?
Yeah.
What did he do? But apparently he was renowned for doing it every now and then. He had kind of the driver yips and he would pull out of shots quite just at the in the minute.
Yes.
So it was one of those bizarre things. But he never got penalised.
He never got penalised.
It was only on tee shots though. So in the fairway like that, maybe there's a different rule. I don't know.
Well, see, that seems that would be hypocritical to me because if he didn't mean to hit it on the tee, why?
No, I get it. I get it.
If you go back to the shot, Dan, I reckon you can see his arms on the follow through. They're both like his left arm is bent on the follow through.
He's obviously stood up.
So he stood up,
heard something. Yeah,
he's heard something. Didn't know what it was.
Back in Tiger's day, he would just pause halfway down.
Yeah, he'd
he
stop.
used to do
He'd
that.
stop. That's right.
Incredible. So
Go on, give us one more look at it, Dan.
Let's take one more. All right, over the ball.
You see the left arm? There's a chicken wing on the way through.
Yeah, that's definitely not an intent to hit the ball. So,
well,
interesting. You got penalised. Okay.
Yeah, anyway. That on social media this week, that was going crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in about 3 different WhatsApp groups, and all 3 WhatsApp groups.
You on social media? I worry about that.
Well, can I raise an issue?
It's
very interesting. You raise social media, Nick and Mark. Mark, you recall a little while ago, Nick and I staged an intervention on your behaviour on social media.
It was a very small intervention.
Well, it may have been
small. It wasn't major.
It was small but meaningful.
It was a little slap.
Because you were having arguments with blokes on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we both were very respectful and we both said, would you mind not doing that? Because we would like the Wolfpackers not to be abused by Mr. Mark Allen.
Yeah. Well,
the fact is you've done it again.
I've been good.
No, you haven't been. You've done it again. You've been a rat bag.
What have you done?
You've been a rat bag.
Who to?
Mike Clayton.
Oh, no, I wasn't a rat bag to Mike. No, I was making a very valid point to Mike Clayton.
Well,
I saw there has been a bit going on Twitter, I think, or X, with remember the tea tree discussion and the cypress trees that we all had?
Yeah.
What was it, a week or 2 ago or something? And there was a couple of posts up there. Actually, Mike posted something. It's, I think, the second hole, Royal Melbourne East, where he said, here's a view where you can see the hole. Here's one where you can't.
So I actually replied. Saw that one.
I saw that one and I replied, well, I actually like the ones where you can't see because that makes me feel uncomfortable on the tee, and in a weird, sick, twisted way, I kind of like that on that hole. It makes you think really hard about it. Whereas if you can see everything, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, just knock one down there.
Well, listen, Mike has straightened, for my liking, way too many holes. He's just straightened way too many of them. And to me, he's putting that up like Royal Melbourne should think seriously about changing that. Now, there is no way in the million years Royal Melbourne are going to straighten or get rid of trees in front of the tee so you can see what's going on. It will never happen. And the reason it won't happen is because of balance. And Mike he never seems to be able to grasp this. Balance is a really big part of loving a golf course and enjoying a golf course. Now, the balance in this instance is Royal Melbourne Composite and probably the East Course, they don't have many tee shots that make you squirm. But that tee shot,
it does.
How big a relief is it when I usually 3-wood off the tee. Yeah. How big a relief is it on that hole where you nailed a 3-wood and you got down there around the corner and you saw your ball in the fairway, right? It was a huge relief. And Royal Melbourne doesn't have many of those tee shots. And here he is,
Mark, you mentioned the word balance before. I think in the interest of balance, let's have a look at what Mike actually tweeted. I think that's fair and reasonable.
Yeah.
So Mike said here, the heathland versus tea tree debate on the sandbelt. No one can convince me the latter is preferable to the former. He's talking about the two photos below here. Right. If you're listening on audio, this is on vision at the moment. This is the 7th hole at Vic Golf Club 30 years ago versus the tea tree, smothering the non-existent but indigenous heathland plants. Yeah. So that's his view. And you've replied.
So before you go any further, in my view, and most people on the sandbelt who have lived sandbelt golf, and we've lived it, people come down to enjoy it, there is no debate. There's no debate about tea tree versus heathland. They have coexisted beautifully. Now, sometimes the balance gets out of whack, and courses like Kingston Heath, they have looked at the balance. It's so perfect at Kingston Heath. There are heathland areas, there are tea tree areas, and it works magnificently. And also on some of the other golf courses. But the way he talks, like it's either one or the other. Now, what I don't like is that Michael has a reputation as a golf course architect in this country. I think it's a bad reputation. Other people think it's good. Okay? So I'll put that on the table. I don't think he's a very good golf architect, and I don't think he ever has been. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, and some people have a different
And some people have a different view. But he has been able to change minds on golf committees, in my view, for the worse. And I put something up on social media this week about Portsea. I went and played Portsea Golf Club. If you go down to the Mornington Peninsula, there are cypress trees and pine trees everywhere you go, except for Portsea Golf Club, where they have all been taken out. Now,
actually, I noticed that because I played it for the first time, I don't know how long ago, and I thought, it's
noticeable.
It's kind of what I was expecting, but wasn't in a way.
Yeah.
So
I'll put up. Dan will put up a little movie right now for folks that I put on social media about Portsea Golf Club, for instance. Now, the only place that you see cypress trees at Portsea Golf Club, I think there's one on about the 12th, par 4, maybe the 13th. And that's a tree that might help a boundary. But there is not a cypress anywhere else. Now, when I was a kid, there were cypresses, like wow factor cypresses all over the golf course. Mm-hmm. He's ripped all that cypress and pine tree wow factor out of Portsea Golf Club. Now, that's just my personal opinion.
They got some good ones down at Flinders.
Oh, they got beautiful ones down at Flinders. My God.
Yeah,
and it's Sorrento next door. They got beautiful, gorgeous. Now, my view is that I grew up enjoying those wow factor trees at Portsea. Nobody else will now because they're not being replanted. The old 18th at Portsea, some beautiful big cypress trees, but they don't appear anywhere else at Portsea anymore. So the only beautiful trees, in my opinion, that you see at Portsea Golf Club are the trees that aren't on the property. Now, I'll give you another example. Andrew Kirby sent through a picture of Flinders Golf Club.
Okay.
Now, let's get that one up. Okay. Now, those cypress trees in the background, they make that hole. It's the architecture is not the winner in this particular hole at Flinders. Those trees are.
Par 3 on the back 9, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Those trees are. And that, is what's so important in golf clubs. It's not always the architecture, as Mike would have you believe. Quite often it is what you are walking amongst, And some golf clubs, here's the thing I believe. If your golf course isn't on the ocean with that beautiful framing of the Pacific or a lake or whatever it might be, the mountains, you've got to create your own wow factor. And a lot of the time, courses in this country have put beautiful trees to frame their golf courses to create a bit of wow factor. Now, for whatever reason, there is a cult in Melbourne. I'm serious, it's a cult.
Should we have started talking about social media, Dan?
Oh my God. There is a honest to God cult in Melbourne that wants to get rid of all cypress trees and all pine trees. Now, I agree if there are too many, I agree with you. There shouldn't be too many. There should be some Australian fauna, we got that one right, And there should be
Flora.
Well, they'd be animals, Nick.
No, flora are trees.
Flora's trees. I thought it was fauna. All right, flora. I got it wrong again. So the flora, there should be some Australian flora, no doubt. But we also want some wow factor trees. There used to be this whole, I forget what number it is. It must be, there's a par 5, and it's after the short one up the hill. There used to be the most beautiful cypress behind the green. It was on an angle. It looked like a cypress point cypress. That's gone and nothing replaced it. Nothing.
Wow.
So a wow factor tree, gone. It's still a nice hole, but the wow factor's gone. So that's my only criticism, Portsy. I'm going back there to play in a golf day soon. And I look forward to it. Don't kick me off the course, Portsy members, because I enjoy it. But I think there's some wrong turns. Now, that's the Cyprus debate.
Oh, hang on, there's more?
Oh.
Well, the text probably the post that got you going, and certainly got a lot of people going, was when Mike posted the tea tree thing. Sorry, I've got his account muted, so I have for a long time because it's honestly some of it is just garbage. Anyway, so Mike, this is what Mike tweeted: the Heathland versus tea tree debate on the sandbelt. No one is convincing me the latter is preferable to the former. So no one's convincing him that tea tree's any good. It goes on. 30 years ago, the tea tree was about the 2 pitches. Anyway, there is no debate. I'll say it again, Mike, there's no debate. They coexist. And my post was hilarious, ... There is no debate. What on earth are you talking about? Both can work beautifully on the sandbelt. You're really starting to jump the shark with these posts.
Oh, jump the shark.
Most good golf architects, remember, I don't rate him, most good golf architects would understand this balance. By the way, the 7th at Kingston Heath says hello. Now, I took that picture just last week, and of course, you couldn't get a better picture of the 7th. The tea tree is flowering. You couldn't get a better one. Anyway, so that's just healthy debate on Twitter. Surely our podcasting license is not going to be in danger.
Well, it could be. We could have our podcasting license at risk if you keep fighting with people.
Yeah. Anyway, so look, that's the debate.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a debate.
You have your view on Mike, and you put your view.
Yep.
Not everyone shares that view. There are people who feel that he is excellent at what he does, and I think it's fair that we make that point.
Yes, and I term those people part of the cult.
Sure.
just so everybody is on. If you think Mike's going well, then you're part of the cult.
All right, let's go from that to a touch of class.
My go this week too.
A touch of class
for BMW.
Finally.
Luxury and comfort for the 19th hole, as Nick O'Hearn, you can testify.
I certainly can.
Touch of class.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
Thank goodness. I'm a little bit flustered, but I'm okay. Now, I saw something on the Champions Tour at Pebble Beach this week, a course where there are beautiful cypress trees and pine trees, and we don't want those cut down, ever. Anyway, that's a different story.
Are you still going?
What I saw was Steve Elker coming to the 72nd, or no, maybe the 54th. Maybe they're only playing 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Coming to the 54th, and he needed the birdie to get into a playoff. He had a wedge in hand, and he flew the green into the worst possible spot.
Ooh.
And he didn't get up and down. He made a bogey.
Yeah.
Right? So he went from birdie to get into a playoff, par for second. He's moved to third.
Yeah.
A disaster.
Yeah.
But what I loved about Steve Elker, and this is a touch of class that you must all respect, is that his playing partner was a young lady who had just parred the last to win the tournament.
How good. How good.
And his face went from horrified at what he had just done to elation for his playing partner.
How good.
And folks, it was a beautiful thing. I'm sure not everybody caught it on Monday. I just happened to be home, and it was because the tournament was in California. It was about 10 o'clock. But it's something that tells you a hell of a lot about the class, just like BMW, of Steve Elker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to be a grizzly guts in those situations and just kind of wander off. And because you're playing a pro-am format, you've always got your partner with you, so you know what's going on. I've seen pros not act in that fashion. So congrats, Steve. That is a touch of class.
It was great.
All right, time for the turn and a sausage roll and a party pie.
And a wipe down, I think, as well.
Well, I get a bit flustered. I'm passionate about golf and
I know.
golf in this country. And I know you are too, and we've all got our views. That's
Indeed.
simply mine. By the way, you're welcome to have yours. And if you want to fire back, let her rip. Get in touch with our socials. Did I just say that?
Oh, you did. Jeez, oh my gosh.
Did I just say that?
All right.
Let's have a break. Let's have a break.
Ryder Cup themed top 5, Nick, I believe, coming up next year.
Yes, given it's that week. Top
Okay.
5 moments in the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie Simi. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The golf clearance outlet beat everyone's prices. And Betr is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Okay, about time for the top 5. Thanks to Betr. And by the way, go to Betr. Go to the site right now and have a look at our special for the Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Scotty Scheffler to have a non-winning record for the week into Europe to lead after day 2, into Europe to win the whole lot. $7 is what Richard Hummerston from Betr has given us. So while you're watching on KO this week, you can cheer away. Don't put too much on. Don't be silly. Just have a bit of fun.
And if you haven't signed up to Betr, it literally takes about 60, 90 seconds. It's really quick. You can download the app or the website, and it's a cracker. So, yeah, go and check it out.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
The top 5 for Betr, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Rightio. This week's top 5, Nick. It's over to you.
This week's top 5, it's all about the Ryder Cup. That's why we got the little picture in the background there. Top 5 moments that I can remember about the Ryder Cup.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Good and bad or just good?
Oh, there's some, both.
Okay, good.
A bit of both.
Nice.
Bit of both. I could have easily done a top 10 here, but I didn't. So we've only gone with the 5.
Goodness for
Number
that.
5 is a bit of a light one, but it's something that I really enjoy seeing these days. And I can't remember where it started. Well, actually, I think it started at the World Cup in football, the Viking clap.
Oh, yeah.
But they did it a few years ago, I think, at the French Open, and Nicholas Colsaerts and Rory and all those sorts of guys who are up there just leading the crowd.
It was fantastic.
It's something pretty special about it. I've always enjoyed that moment anyway.
Canberra does the Viking clap, don't they?
They do. The Canberra Raiders.
Yeah,
Raiders do it
they
in
do
the
the Viking
NRL,
clap.
yeah.
It's really good.
So when the team come out, the whole crowd does it. And what's really cute, and I saw this at the weekend when Canberra played a couple of weekends ago. Sometimes they'll show a photo of a little girl who might be like 3 on her dad's shoulders
Doing it?
and she's doing it.
Oh,
And
it's so beautiful.
It is
beautiful.
so beautiful.
How good.
Love that.
How good. So I started soft. The next couple are a bit, it's sort of awkward moments where you go, right, number 4 is, and there could have been 2 here. We spoke about one last week, I think, on the feedback pod where, remember Azinger and Chip Beck when they had the different compression balls, Seve and Jose. So that was the War on the Shore 1991, but the final putt is one I will never forget. Bernard Langer had a 6-footer to win his match to tie the Ryder Cup.
That's right.
So it would have been 14 all. He was playing against Hale Irwin and he missed it.
Yeah.
And he missed it. And he had to go around a spike mark, he later said. He said, there was a spike mark in my way. You couldn't pat down spike marks back in the day.
What a crazy rule.
And he missed it. And you could see the sheer pain on his face and the elation from the Americans. And then they all jumped into the Atlantic.
I wonder if something like that contributed to his ongoing putting woes.
Yeah, well, maybe.
It would be a big
He won the
hurdle.
Masters a couple of years later, didn't he, I think? Anyway, that's number 4, Langer's missed putt there. Number 3, this one, it's very well known and very famous, Brookline. The 17th hole, Justin Leonard holed the bomb.
Yes.
And then the entire American team ran onto the green and
including some wives in high heels. Heels.
Jose Maria Olazabal's ball, who still had a 20-foot putt to halve the hole. So wasn't the finest moment. But
what happened? Did they just lose count of the shots or something? What the hell happened there?
I think that putt meant if Ollie misses, then they basically win the cup or they retain it or something like that. Okay. I don't think they realised Ollie still had a putt to go.
Right.
So.
Emotions reached fever pitch when the decisive match between Justin Leonard and Jose Maria Olazabal reached the 17th green.
There was no one on this planet that expected Justin Leonard to make that putt. It would never cross your mind.
At that point, there was no thought process, just sheer excitement because of the emotions I'd been through.
It was the trigger for American players, wives, caddies, and even some photographers and camera crew to invade the green to share in the moment, unfortunately forgetting that Olazabal still had a putt to keep the match alive.
Anyway, but a little while later, there was actually a touch of class, funnily enough, on the next hole where Payne Stewart, the late great Payne Stewart, conceded a putt for a Monty from about 20 feet because he'd put up with so much abuse that day from the fans.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Payne Stewart let Monty off the hook.
Yeah, he just said, look, no, you don't need to putt that. You win the match. Because it was over by that stage.
Yeah, okay.
But, he gave him a point, so his record looks good on paper, which is always
I
nice. But it was a touch of class.
I wouldn't have done that to Monty. I would have stepped on his throat is what I would have done. But anyway, good on you, Payne.
Many fans tried to do that, I think, that day. So anyway, that was number 3. Number 2, I'll never forget this. I spoke about it a bit earlier. The winning putt by Paul McGinley at the Belfry, where he jumps up in the air, the sheer elation for the win. Sam Torrance obviously was the winning captain, and seeing McGinley and the Irish flag and him draped in the pond in front of the Belfry's 18.
Yeah.
Never forget that. And number 1, so famous that they even named a golf course after it called the Concession. Jack Nicklaus giving Tony Jacklin that 3-foot putt on the last back in 1969 at the Ryder Cup. I think the way it worked was Jack had holed a putt, Jack Nicklaus that is, and then Tony Jacklin had a 3-foot putt left, and to make it, they would have tied.
Right.
Now,
so Jack, a bit of pressure on that putt.
A little bit of pressure, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think Europe or Great Britain and Ireland back then, whatever it was, had even come close to, been doing something like that at this particular point.
He said something special to him, didn't he?
He said something very special afterwards. Jack said to Tony, I knew you wouldn't miss it, but I wasn't going to give you the chance.
Yeah, nice.
So
That's exactly what he said. Well done.
It was so good. You talk about sportsmanship and the way the Ryder Cup should be played. Obviously, that sort of kicked things off. These days, we see players now, funnily enough, this will be interesting this week, where they don't give putts. And will a player put the putter down just to see how far it was? Was it 2 feet, 2 feet 8, all that sort of stuff. So that kind of riles people up as well. So,
we've spoken about social media already, but I reckon you may have missed a few top 5 memories from the Ryder Cup. So
these are just mine.
Get in touch with our socials. Yeah. What has Nick met? The good and the bad from Ryder Cups of past. Can I just put mine in?
Go on.
Seve crying after a win. And I think he came up and put his hands on Nick Faldo's face. He came up and put his hands on Nick Faldo's face, and he was in tears. So there's my one that you might have missed, but I reckon there's so many moments from Ryder Cups. Get in touch with our socials. What can we squeeze into Nick's top 5?
All right. Time for some feedback, guys.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
So you're talking about socials and talking about feedback and comments on socials. Oh, my goodness. The Lucas Parsons, Greg Norman chat last week.
Yes.
People loved it.
Well, they did. A lot of them loved it. A lot of them. There was a lot of people having a crack as well.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No, it was.
How many views did it get in the end?
Oh, my gosh. Well,
went crazy.
We had a look before this pod. It was at about nearly 39,000 views.
Wow. Unreal.
It was quite
good on you, Lucas. Thanks for that. Thanks for the interview.
Look,
thanks for the story.
It was great. So we can't go through all the comments clearly because there was hundreds and hundreds. But there was
go through the bad ones.
What's that?
Go through the bad ones.
No.
He's in the mood right now.
There's a couple of them here. Reese has said, great podcast. Lucas was a fascinating guest. Stephen, Norman is a flawed character, but I will never forget his graciousness in Masters defeat.
Yeah. My father used to use Greg a lot as a motivation for me because he goes, that bloke, most blokes, if you lose a major in any of the ways that he lost some of those majors, you'll never see them again. But Greg Norman kept on coming back. He kept on putting his head on the chopping block. The amount of guts and fortitude and strength, inner strength, just to keep getting close. Where most players, like how many times have we seen a player get close, Nick, and we've never heard from him again? It happens a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So for Greg just to keep on putting his head on the chopping block, my old man, he was a big, had a lot of admiration for Greg.
David Lucas, I was lucky enough to play against Lucas Parsons at the Western Amateur in 91-92 in Michigan in the US. He was wonderful. Best wishes, Lucas.
Yeah, there you go, Lucas. I hope you're watching. Yeah.
That was a big event in the States, wasn't it? Huge.
Now, Wayne Fuller has said this. This is a little bit of a longer one, this one, and I thought it was good to have a look through. Wayne has said, "G'day, gents. Love your work. I'm not condoning Greg's behaviour, as I have seen evidence of his gamesmanship. It was definitely frosty firsthand when he was paired with Brett Ogle. This was the tournament Brett copped a ricochet from his own golf ball while trying to play a low shot under a branch at the Australian. To Greg's credit, he did come to Brett's aid. As an aside, I've recently watched on YouTube Greg playing the 1982 Victoria Golf Open, where he was laughing, interacting, and playing with the crowd and the TV cameras. But here's my question about this. I'm wondering whether the pressure of expectation that was placed on him by himself, by the media, and by the Australian public may have contributed to his demeanour and how he carried himself."
It was interesting in that podcast with Lucas. So Lucas said that Jack Nicklaus did it to Greg the first time. Maybe that was a little bit part of it. I don't know. It's funny, the 1982 Vic Open that he's talking about, a bloke called Rhett Bartlett, Kevin Bartlett's son, has this YouTube channel, and he just puts this old footy and cricket and all kinds. This is the first time he put some old golf up.
Where was it played?
Was it played at Metro?
Oh, right. Okay.
And, the characters played. Vaughan Summers.
Oh, yeah.
Vaughan Summers. Famously, Seve Ballesteros wouldn't start a practice round in the British Open without Vaughan Summers. Vaughan Summers was wearing knee-high socks, Walker socks, yellow shorts, swing along. They had Greg Norman. Clates, I think, was leading the tournament. They had all these beautiful old characters. Gee, golf was so different back then. No aim point.
No, definitely not.
None of that stuff. It was just... It was really good to see golf back in the 80s.
I think, for the players that reach number one in the world, whether it be Tiger or Greg or BJ or whoever, people approach it differently. Once you get there, you have that drive, that desire to succeed at the highest level. Does it come at all costs? Can you still be a nice guy? Everyone approaches it differently, so I don't, blame them for whatever they do. I think for the next generation coming through like a Lucas, it would have been probably nice to, welcome him a bit more with the incident that he spoke about. Certainly wasn't Lucas's fault, I didn't think. But at the same time, he was trying to send a message. I'm sure Jack sent Greg a message as well. So
you know what I got out of it? I reckon it toughened Lucas up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I got out of it. I mean, it might have been a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
It toughened it up. I mean, I know my experience with Colin Montgomery. I mean, that toughened me up.
Yeah. And you're completely over it, which is great.
I'm never going to get over that, Nick. Never.
Final comment on the Lucas-Greg interview, and I think this is one that I read with caution, may elicit a little bit of a reaction here.
Okay.
Ooh.
This is from Darren in Nevada. "You guys aren't fit to carry Greg's clubs. That was a disgraceful interview, and you enabled Lucas whinging."
Ooh, Big D.
This is right
in
up
Vegas.
Your alley.
Well, it's an interesting
Everyone
viewpoint.
has an opinion.
Yeah. Darren certainly had one.
Yeah, I think Darren's missed the whole point of it. But anyway.
Well, he's entitled to the opinion. It's good to read
That's
it.
right.
That's good.
Good on you, Darren. Thanks for listening.
Feedback, yep.
Okay, this one from Foz. Another controversial topic here. This one from Foz. "G'day, gents. I just want to say that I love my iron covers. And I've got two reasons. It slows me down in my pre-shot routine. I'm not Cantlay slow, though, to help me get better commitment to the shot. And it protects the beautiful new Titleist irons that I have.
Ooh.
Love the pod, fellas. Keep up the good work."
Well, you're in a conundrum right now.
Yeah,
aren't you?
interesting.
But you did say last week you do like to see a bit some nicks on the irons and how they just gather a little bit of mileage, I guess, as you go. Slows him down with the pre-shot routine. Yeah, that would slow you down because it does take a while to get him off, I imagine. So,
where's he put it? Did he put it in the back pocket? Is that what do you do with an iron cover? Just throw it on the ground?
That is a good question, actually.
What the hell do you do with it
on
when
a
you
windy
take it
day?
off?
I suppose you got to put it in your pocket.
Put it in your pocket.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either.
You had a conversation a little while ago, Mark. Oh, well, you both had a conversation, but Mark, you presented an idea about having Monday qualifying for Live.
Yes.
Which you explained why, and it was an excellent discussion. 50 Shades of Flav has said this. "That is a great idea. It would give exposure to a lot of really talented golfers across the globe that are good enough, but just haven't cracked the market for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And this would grow the game."
Yeah, I'm with you. Good on you, Flav. Thanks for agreeing. I think it would be great. I mean, in whatever country, the Live was being played in,
a Monday
they're
key
the
team.
people. They're the people. You're going to have to be a countryman to be able to. Yeah. So when it's played in Australia, then we only have Australians at the pre-qualifying, and then they make up that who the four that qualify, they make up their own team.
Yeah,
they all get a good bit of bank out of it, even if they finish dead last. But it would be interesting just to see it.
No, that's true.
Now, this is a message here from Nick, and this is a lovely message, actually. G'day, guys. I've been following your show for a few months now. Love all the chat about golf, particularly on the sandbelt. I wanted to bring your attention to the story of Jonathan Jigger Thompson. He's a friend of mine who's making a comeback on the DP and Challenge Tour after struggles with leukemia. His favourite golf course is Royal Melbourne, and I wondered if you guys would give Jonathan a shout-out and wish him good luck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jonathan, unbelievable to get back from that and have plans to go back out on tour.
Gosh.
Congratulations on the recovery, for one, and two, good luck with everything.
I wonder where he plays.
Yeah, where does he play?
Well, it doesn't say here, but it does say his favourite course is Royal Melbourne, so maybe
plays for local.
Jigger.
Good on you, Jigger. Well done.
That's excellent. Last comment here. This is from Darren, Wolfpacker Darren, who writes in from time to time. Darren has said, regarding the Luxury Escapes hole-in-one prize to the Maldives or Maldives, however you say it, at Lynx Hope Island on the Gold Coast on Wednesday, October 8. I am gunning for that hole-in-one.
Love it.
So he's got his eyes on it. So that's
a hell of a prize.
I hope they put the pin in a little funnel spot on the green. Wouldn't that be good?
Well, let's call the boss and make it happen.
So the prize is so it's on the par 17. It's on the par 3 17. Sorry, 17th hole, par 3 17. Yeah. And if you get a hole in one there, and you're not a pro, so not you two guys, or any other pros who may be there too, and there may be. You cannot win, but other people can, which is very exciting. Tickets, links, Golf and Wellbeing website. Go and check it out. That's the feedback, guys. Now
time for time for the masterclass.
No. Time for the Ping Global.
Ping Global. Your favourite song.
I thought I escaped it. Can we shorten it at least?
No. Ping will help you play your best. They have for Nick your entire career, and there's a bit going on this week.
Certainly was. DP World Tour. They had the FedEx Open de France, also known as the French Open, at Saint-Nom-le-Bretèche. I used to play a tournament there called the Trophy Lancôme.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Remember that one? Yeah, it's a beautiful old clubhouse. Fantastic. Really nice.
Did you come second there, or did
venues.
you come second in a different one?
No, I came, it's funny, the guy who comes second, Elvis Smylie, becomes the second left-handed Australian to finish runner-up at the French Open, because I did it don't know how many years ago at La Golf Nationale. So anyway, it was a great effort by Elvis.
He's got some big blue suede shoes to walk in.
That's very true. He was a bit unlucky, to be honest, though. But the American Michael Kim holed a 16-foot par putt on the last. Yeah. Par 3 down the hill. That's one really tough par 3. I have a feeling that may be the par 3 that, remember we were talking to Chucky Fowler a while back. He won a tournament and he laid up on the par 3 to win it. I think it was this hole. I have a feeling.
It was definitely a BMW something or other, because I watched it.
Was it this hole? Can you remember? Because this is a hole where you would lay up.
It was
because
so long
there's
ago.
water right.
It didn't look the same, but maybe the flora has changed.
Yeah, but
maybe it's changed.
I was thinking about that earlier.
It.
So anyway, Michael Kim had a great win there, but from one shot from Elvis Smylie. Minwoo Lee was in there for a while as well, but he finished tied for 5th. Ryan Fox tied for 14th, and Dave Micheluzzi tied for 32nd, was the best of the Aussies. Michael Kim became the first American to win the French Open in 53 years. So, yeah, not bad. LPGA Tour, they had the Walmart NW, which I assume means Northwest Arkansas Championship. Now this...
You got rained out about...
Yeah.
How many rounds did they get in?
One. They got shortened to 18 holes, unfortunately. So no points, all that. They still allocated prize money to everyone in the field that played, even if you had a shock of the first round.
I think it's not the first time this has happened at this event. I heard
they get a lot of rain in Arkansas, I guess.
I heard them talking afterwards that maybe a venue change is on the cards.
Maybe on the cards, yeah. Who knows? But American Sarah Schmelzel and Minami Katsu both shot 8 under 63, so I guess they divide the winner's check. I don't think there was a playoff at all I know of.
Do they get an official win?
No, I don't think so.
They couldn't.
No, you can't for 18 holes.
How many rounds before it's official?
I think 36. Yeah. It makes it official. But Robin Choi, Karis Davidson, best of the Aussies, tied for 9th, who shot 65s in their first round. So well done to them. On the Ladies European Tour, 16-year-old 16-year-old Canadian Anna Huang had a 7-shot win in the La Sella Open in Spain.
I didn't see this.
And she turned pro last December. She was 16 when she turned pro. She's almost 17, so incredible win.
Good on her.
Third was Madison Hinson-Tolshard, the Australian, and Kirsten Rudgley tied for 8th, was next best Aussie. Well done there. Now, I think we had a bit of history on the Asian Tour where they were playing the Yangda Tournament Players Championship in Taiwan. Now, last week I mentioned a guy, remember the shortest guy in the field, what was his name? Kazuki Higa.
Yeah, he won.
5'2".
Yeah.
He won again.
Oh, back to back.
He won again. But get this stat, by the way, Dan, and I don't think this has ever happened. The final group was Kazuki Higa at 5'2". His playing partner was a guy called Charles Porter, 6'10". Has there ever been a bigger difference in playing partners in the history of the game?
20-inch difference.
Exactly.
Never.
You'd never have seen that, right?
Never.
Not on the men's side.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Ian
Probably
Woosnam.
not on the women's side either.
Ian Woosnam playing with Feldo.
Yeah, but he's about 5'3", 5'2".
He's
but
huge.
no one's 6 foot. I mean, that's incredible.
6'10".
So what was that movie? Was it Twins? That movie with Schwarzenegger and DeVito or something?
Yeah,
it was just brought to my attention by Austin Trusler, who was playing as well. So
that's
he had a nice solid week. So I reckon that's
a talk birdie to me
stat.
record.
Yeah.
Nick, no. Talk Birdie's own Austin Trusler.
Sorry, Talk Birdie's own Austin Trusler, who finished 20th, by the way. So well done again to Austin. Travis Smythe tied for 7th and Brett Rankin tied for 15th, best of the Aussies. On the LET Access Tour in Switzerland, Justice Bozier had a runner-up finish for her, so very well done there. She's 8th on the order of merit. Top 7 get their cards. I think there's only one tournament left, so she needs one more good week.
Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. And then on the Champions Tour, as you mentioned, they were at Pebble Beach where Doug Barron birdied the final hole, gave it the latest fist bump I've ever seen because it only just dribbled in and he was ready to give it the fist pump and he did.
He's very lame at the fist pump.
Yeah, it wasn't his
I
best.
saw a few and I was embarrassed for him.
There was a shocker on the one at the French Open by the young Frenchman.
the eagle putt.
Coe, where he held an eagle putt and he didn't know whether to fist pump or jump up and down. He was running about like a bit of a headless chook. So it was quite funny.
He tried to cross a few celebrations and it didn't work.
Was it as bad as Stevie Williams?
Well, I was going to say the worst of all time would have to be
Stevie Williams has got the record.
Yeah. But anyway, overnight leader Steve Alker tied for 3rd, as you mentioned. Steve Allen tied for 11th, along with Cam Percy, and Stuart Appleby tied for 13th with the best of the Australians. So well done to all the Aussies playing over there. And I think you said last year it's going to be interesting how the Aussies are going to go going forward. Obviously, we've got plenty over there, but there's no Q school. So how do you get on the tour anymore? I mean, I don't know. So we shall see.
We've got the Australian players to thank for the no tour school and the
thanks,
Champions
guys.
Tour.
Now we can't go.
Now no one can go. Good on you.
Well,
anyway.
give me one word to describe your view on that lack of Q school. One word.
Poor.
Appalling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's no access. How do you get in? Well,
that's right.
Former players who have won on tour, I think it's 4 wins on the PGA Tour can play, but what about that person who's dreaming to play?
They put up the money. Who's won the most money this year? Stevie Allen, who didn't have anywhere to play at the start of the year, has won $1.4 million this year.
Incredible, isn't it?
And not Australian pesos, the real stuff.
Impressive.
So
I'm assuming they're still going to have Monday qualifiers, so maybe that's the way players can get in.
Monday qualifiers.
Yeah. Anyway.
Masterclass, Mark, you've done it. What's it on today?
It's on, again, I was watching the Champions Tour late on Monday, and would you believe I saw some players with a bad lie or two. It never happens.
Wow.
It never happens. And this is the point I wanted to make.
In the fairway or in the bunker? Or
in the bunker.
In the bunker.
In the bunker. They had bad lies in the bunkers. Now, the point I wanted to make was the median on the PGA Tour, so the best players in the world, the median up and down rate with perfect bunkers, perfect greens, perfect playing conditions, and they practice every single day, it's only like 56%.
I might have looked at this the other day. I think it could be 51 at the moment.
It's ridiculous. Hideki leads it at 71. Not bad, Hideki. Not quite in the 80s like some others, but
not
bad. Not bad. But they're perfect lies. Now, when we play golf in this country, we get a lot of bad lies. And this is the technique that is never really taught. You know, you watch you watch something in bunkers, you either get a plug lie demonstration of how to do a plug lie, or it's always a perfect lie. So my masterclass this week is on bad lies. And thanks to my cameraman, Lou Scantos, it's in HD this week. You and I both, we found
the HD button.
We found the HD button. You wouldn't believe it. So if you're watching on YouTube, enjoy HD.
We will do that next.
Well, I was watching the seniors last week at Pebble Beach and I saw something very unusual. Some of the players had a bad lie in the bunkers there. Now, there are two totally different techniques for good lies, or like this one, come in just for a tick. That there is a perfect lie. You can literally do anything you like and that ball will come out nicely. You can do anything. You almost don't have to try. Now, this is the big one. I'm in a footprint. Now, this is where technique changes. So, the ball goes back in your stance, you get the buttons past the ball, and this is the only time you pick it up quick. And you hit down sharply so you can get the club underneath the ball and the bounce won't drop kick into the back of the ball. So the ball goes back, I lean forward, I'm using my hands, I pick them up quick, and I hit down on it. Go on, go in, go in, go in. Did it go in? That's how you play bunker shots.
Wow, okay, that was an interesting ending there, Mark.
It might have been a fraction aggressive. It might have been a fraction aggressive.
A couple of great shots, though.
It was embarrassing.
But I love what you said,
watch back.
You know, the lean forward, the angle of attack, that's perfect.
Well, you know, I mean, I can't remember hardly ever getting a bad lie in my professional career because the bunkers are done perfectly. They're done by professional caddies most of the time. They're prepared before. You hardly ever get a bad lie. And these poor buggers going around on a Saturday or a Sunday, it's the only time they get to play. They walk in a trap. Rakes have been left in the bunker, which is a disaster. And you get a bad lie in a bunker probably every second time, even if it's a small downslope. That's kind of a bad lie.
Yeah,
you know, a tiny bit of sand above the ball in the back. It's a bad lie, and you need to have both techniques.
Yep.
Anyway,
love it. Very good.
Easy to go. Go well.
Yes.
Cannot wait to watch the Ryder Cup this week. Good luck to Geelong and Brizzy in the AFL Grand Final.
Yes.
But make sure on Saturday, Sunday and Monday morning,
There you go.
make sure you're on KO watching the President's Cup.
Are you playing this weekend?
No, the President's Cup, I just said.
The Ryder Cup.
The Ryder Cup.
Jeez, how's it going?
Can we end the show, please?
Seriously,
Let's
mate.
get off.
It's too much social
See you next
media
week.
talk.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our fantastic partners, Titleist is the clear #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie Simi's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie Simi.